Welcome to the Dead Celebs podcast with your hosts, Brent Novak and Tana Satterley.
For a complete list of all of the celebrities who died, please visit our Facebook page, the Dead Celebs Podcast.
Welcome. Whoa, how about that? How's that look for now? Welcome to the Dead Celebs Podcast. I'm your host, Brent Novak, and this is my co-host, Tana Satterley. Tana,
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Brent. How are you?
Good. Doing well. I'm kind of playing with this little buttons here. And our guest host tonight is none other than a Mr. Charlie Browner. I'm going to introduce you a little bit. His tonight's guest host is from my hometown in Wisconsin. His podcast, Outside TG, has covered many topics, including hunting, fishing, wellness, and even the art of wedding officiating. He's also a blogger covering music albums of Amy Winehouse, Prince, Bruno Mars, and other random personal and pop culture references, including one of my favorite topics on his nephew, Will, and his progress as high school basketball player who soon will be playing Division I with the University of Northern Iowa. One of the kindest, caring people I've ever met, Mr. Charlie Browner. Welcome.
You are far too gracious. Thank you. Good to be here. Excited.
Good. When our goal tonight is I want to get some live chatters on. Our record is 13.
Yes.
And let's see if we can beat that. Anywho, let's give a start with a Mr. James Earl Jones. Let me just grab the picture of that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about him, and then we will. Oops, that's Prince. You guys ever see Prince? There he is, right there.
Hey!
That's Brent doing it. I'm doing it.
Big fan. Big fan.
Oh boy. Oh gosh. I know you are.
Get it together, Brent.
You're messing with me here, right? We're gonna talk about Prince.
This is gonna be always the first couple seconds. How's that? All right.
Aww.
I know. What a sad day. Mr. James Earl Jones, a titan of stage and screen whose unmistakable baritone provided the voice of such iconic characters as Darth Vader and Mufasa, died on Monday, September 9th after a long battle with diabetes at the age of 93. The actor, who famously struggled with a childhood stuttering that put him through several mute years, established himself as one of the most admired American actors of all time, earning acclaim with a prolific, versatile career that spanned 60 years from his 1958 Broadway debut and the most recent performance in 2021's Coming to America 2. His over 80 film credits include roles as a B-52 bombardier in Stanley Kubrick's 1964 satire Dr. Strangelove, a reclusive author and tormented Red Sox fan in Field of Dreams, a blind former baseball star in Sandlot, the fearsome villain of Conan the Barbarian. While his roles in the Star Wars saga and The Lion King have secured him with a permanent place in pop culture, he has also 2 Tony Awards for 1969's The Great White Hope and 1987's Fences, the Pulitzer Prize-winning drama from August Wilson. Jones was also awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award, Tony Award in 2017, with 2 Emmys, a 1977 Grammy, and his 2011 honorary Oscar. Jones is one of a handful of actors to achieve an EGOT. He was 93 years old. So sad day, but gosh darn it, James Earl Jones lived a super duper great life.
Sure did. And what a voice.
What a voice. Charlie, got a take on Mr. James Earl Jones?
Here's the first one I got because you just mentioned it. Is he an EGOT? Honorary Oscar. Does that make him an EGOT?
What is EGOT? I don't know what EGOT is.
Emmy,
Grammy, Oscar,
Grammy,
Tony.
Oscar, Tony.
Here I'm reading it.
I see a lot of debate online that he's official, technically an EGOT.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
He should be. I mean,
should be. I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would say.
Agreed. I'm just trying to stir something up.
Hey, welcome to Craig, Mark, Tyson, Thad Miller. The crew is watching. So if anybody's got some comments, please do so.
My camera's blurry, by the way, because I don't want people to see the mess behind me. So it's better that way.
I thought about that
all right,
too.
So James Earl Jones, really, like, here's my actual thought on him.
Yeah.
So first off, okay, so Carl Weathers passed away 8 months ago. And we're all kind of like, oh, I loved Apollo. I started thinking more about Carl Weathers. Like, man, this guy has been a part of my life since I was a little kid, like just kept doing iconic things. And I look at James Earl Jones the same way. Like, there are just like points throughout your life where he did another thing. He did another thing. Star Wars, Field of Dreams, Lion King, Coming to America. Just kept doing stuff throughout. But the thing that really jumps out at me also was when obviously he was the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. When they came back in 2019 and remade The Lion King in a live action, and they got Beyonce, they got Donald Glover, they got Seth Rogen, they get all these big names. It was time to cast Mufasa. It was like, no, just bring James Earl Jones back for that. Like, we can't replace James Earl Jones. He's that important. That says it all to me.
Absolutely. And he has given his rights to the Star Wars franchise to use his voice forever.
Oh, wow.
Forever. How about that?
I did look this up. Did you know there have actually been, across like animation, video games, all this stuff, there have been 14 different people who have played Darth Vader?
Oh, that's a great tidbit. I did not know that. Huh.
Interesting.
I didn't either till like an hour ago, but I was like, how could anybody else play Darth Vader? And as it turns out, a lot of people have met Darth Vader apparently. But I mean, he's obviously the one you think of.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't until Field of Dreams that I actually knew that, well, that's Darth Vader, that voice. I didn't know that. I didn't know who he was. So
Field of Dreams are Coming to America. I'm not sure which one it was for me.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh yeah, maybe it was Coming to America. You're right. I did play Darth Vader at Deanna's birthday party, the kid's birthday party.
Oh,
I didn't quite have the voice of James Earl Jones, though, did I? No.
Hunt for Red October here too. I don't remember that. I'm not taking your word for that, Tyson. That's hearsay as far as I'm concerned.
All right. Anybody else? What kind of trivia do you have for James Earl Jones?
Well, obviously, his voice. He was also the voice of Bell Atlantic. And I remember that. That was a long time ago, but I remember that, as well as This Is CNN.
Oh, I do
That's
remember
him.
CNN. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting, he was a U.S. Army veteran and a member of the NRA and also a Republican.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
I don't know. That just surprised me.
In the entertainment industry, that's
Right.
a tough place to be.
It is. It is. He also attended the University of Michigan, where he was initially a pre-med major. So I thought that was cool too.
It's interesting what these people do to try,
Yeah.
not knowing where their life's going to take them,
Yeah. Yeah.
And here we are talking about him on and near his death. So
Yeah.
he will live on in infamy. What a great, great man.
Yep.
All right, Tana, who's up next?
Up next, we have Michaela DePrince. She was a barrier-breaking ballerina who appeared on Dancing with the Stars and also in Beyonce's Lemonade film. She died on September 10th at the age of 29. No cause of death was given. She was adopted by Elaine and Charles DePrince in New Jersey in 1999 and enrolled in ballet school in Philadelphia and performed at the Youth America Grand Prix. She was one of 6 primary subjects in the 2011 documentary First Position, trained at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater and Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis School of Ballet in New York. And she appeared in an episode of Dancing with the Stars the same year. She went on to join the Dutch National Ballet's junior company and later became second soloist for the Boston Ballet. She choreographed her own routine in the Freedom section of Beyonce's Lemonade film and also starred in the 2021 ballet film Coppelia. Sadly, her adopted mother passed away one day later. Elaine DePrince died September 11th during a routine procedure in preparation for a surgery. And that's all I have on Michaela. So young, so life cut short, right?
What a tragic thing. I'm just going to say real quickly that my ex-wife, we all love our ex-wives, but my ex-mother-in-law, she went in for hernia surgery and nearly died. She was in a coma for almost, I think, 10 days, and they couldn't pull her out. We talked about that in the past off camera, but so really, like, routine procedures can turn into something awful sometimes. And this is
Kanye West's mom also
for hernia.
Not for a hernia, but for some very minor surgery. Kanye West's mom passed away in what was supposed to be a very routine surgery.
Oh my gosh, yeah. All you can do is hope sometimes, huh? So
right,
yeah, and also, Cher's mom in Clueless died from a routine liposuction.
Wait, what? Cher's mom in the movie Clueless? This happened to?
Yes.
Not Cher's mom who was clueless.
No.
Right?
The character played by Alicia Silverstone in the movie Clueless.
Okay. So first of all, I'm thinking Cher, like Cher.
Yeah,
sorry.
Right?
Cher,
and then I'm thinking her mom died at a routine procedure, and now she was clueless, and now it's none of that matches.
None of that. Sorry. Let me back up.
Oh my gosh.
Does that make any sense?
No, but it does now.
I get it now.
Have you seen
I haven't
Clueless?
seen that movie in at least 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
I would not have remembered that.
As if.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Tana. Clueless. Sorry. I'm clueless.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, back to Michaela.
Yes.
I did not find a cause of death, and it just makes me sad, because she was so young.
I looked too. It was undisclosed at the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might come back a few months from now and say, "Oh, the cause of death was revealed," but.
Right. Yeah. That's too bad.
So, the one thing that jumped out at me when I was reading some stuff about Michaela was I see that she was in Forbes magazine's 2020 list of 30 under 30 in arts and culture. And I'm thinking, what a terrible time to be in that kind of list in the year 2020 when everything had to stop. And you wonder what that might have done, to her frame of mind. Or I don't want to speculate on why somebody dies when they're 29 years old and there's no cause, but I see that, 30 under 30 in the year 2020. What a horrible, just terrible timing for her. And, obviously it's been 4 years since then, but too bad.
Sad. Do you have any trivia on her, Tana?
Just that her birth name, and I'm going to chop this up. I apologize in advance. Her birth name was Mabinti Bangura. And at the age of 4, she and another girl, also named Mabinti, later given the name Mia, were adopted by Elaine and Charles DePrince. So she was 4 when she was adopted, and also another little girl with the same birth name. So I thought that was interesting.
That's very bizarre.
Yeah.
What's the chances?
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't see in the research I did, she was born in Sierra Leone during wartime. She was orphaned. She was a war orphan. And that's how she was adopted and brought to the United States.
Is that name popular out there? Like Mabinti? Is it? Oh.
Maybe.
Should we pretend it is?
Sure.
Is this a popular name?
It's like Sarah.
It's like Sarah. It's Sarah. It's Sarah. It's like Jenny.
Yeah, I was just making something up.
Sarah's a good one though. That was a good one. Sarah's pretty popular.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like Brent, but
no. How many Brents do you know? Me and Brent Shabilsky.
I want to say several, but now that you say that and put me on the spot, I can't name another one. So
I know several Brents and I know several Bretts. And when I first, met you, Brent, in my
Mhm.
mind, I kept wanting to say Brett because my old landlord's name was Brett. I have a fellow improver. His name is Brett. So it's, yeah.
You can call me Brett.
Sort of like we have a Craig watching us right now, who a lot of people call him Greg. Sorry, shout
Yeah.
out to Craig.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
with that said, we're going to move on to our next contestant, which is more sadness.
Yes.
Chad McQueen, actor, film producer,
Mhm.
and auto racer. Chad McQueen, best known for his role as Dutch and the member of Cobra Kai in the original 1984 version, The Karate Kid, and its sequel, The Karate Kid Part 2, died on September 11th from organ failure. According to a friend, McQueen had never fully recovered from an injury he sustained in the fall of 2020. He was the son of the late actor Steve McQueen and owns his father's two Porsches, a 58, 356 Speedster, and a 69 911S. He was 63. Sadness. So it doesn't look like he was in Cobra Kai.
What?
From at least this. I didn't see Cobra Kai. Neither.
I didn't find a lot on him when I was doing my research.
Right.
I did see it. I just don't remember.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, you see those dudes in one movie in 1984, and then, like, which one was that? I don't remember.
Yeah, I didn't even know who he was. Right. I didn't know who he was. But if you look at the picture to the left, or my left, or whatever left you left, he looks just like his dad. Holy cow.
Oh,
like, there are some older pictures, like he could have played his dad in a Biop movie.
Oh, yeah.
I did see, though, he wouldn't do that. You mentioned that, right? He wouldn't, yeah, he wouldn't do anything that had anything to do with his dad.
Well, that's nothing but love, huh?
Yeah, that's part of my trivia. He had a strict policy of never appearing in any movie or TV series connected with his father's work. And for this reason, he turned down the role of Brian Flagg in The Blob in 1988. And years later, the title role in a TV pilot based on his dad's film, Bullet.
That role in The Blob could have been a career maker.
I think so. You never know.
I just think, not wanting to, just be known as somebody's son, but still you can still make a name for yourself.
Sure. And I think if you're alive, or if your dad's alive, it's a little different because he's going to judge what you're doing and like, well, you did it wrong, but he's passed. Like there's nobody's, no matter what, you're going to be perfect. They're going to say, you were great. You were just like your dad.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
He studied martial arts under Chuck Norris. I thought that was cool. And
I was hoping you were going to say Sensei John Kreese, but okay.
Well, he may have.
Go for
that may have been in addition.
No mercy.
No mercy. No mercy. Okay. Yeah.
The last bit of trivia I have for him, he is a first cousin once removed of Spanish singer Enrique Iglesias. I thought that was interesting.
That is. I wonder if.
Can I ask what does once removed mean? Because I really don't know.
So it's like it's a generation. So my first cousin's son would be a cousin once removed because it's like once removed.
There you go. Once
if that makes sense.
If I can, Chad McQueen, just for a second, my one thought on this guy.
Yeah, sure.
I know Johnny Lawrence was the bad guy in Karate Kid that we were all supposed to be afraid of, but Dutch was the dude that I was really afraid of because Dutch seemed like he'd go out there and like slit somebody's throat if Sensei asked him to. Like that guy was insane.
Yeah,
and so I will always remember him as the real scary bad guy in the Karate Kid. And he played it well. Like he really kind of had like crazy. Look at the picture.
Right,
like crazy eyes.
Yeah. You know what, Charlie? We should make a YouTube video on that. Just a little one. Yeah, the real villain of Karate Kid.
Yeah, Dutch is crazy.
That's so crazy.
Johnny Lawrence will kick your boombox and steal the batteries or whatever, but Johnny, I think, Dutch probably would have just like murdered him in the ocean.
Yikes!
Daniel would have survived.
Oh my
It would have been a short movie if it was Dutch.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, sorry.
No, please. We
That's my
we
thought
love
on
it.
Dutch and Chad McQueen.
Okay.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to our next sad story. And again, we're here to celebrate the life of a lot of these people who have passed. I think this
Yes.
is right. Yep, there we go.
Emily Gold.
Emily Gold, yeah. America's. Is this me
Yes.
or is this you? This you, right, Tana?
I think it's me.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So America's Got Talent contestant Emily Gold, who competed on the show's 19th season as part of Los Osos high school dance team, died on September 14th at the age of 17 by suicide. Her death came just weeks after the group performed routines to Usher, the Black Eyed Peas, and more during auditions and the quarterfinals round when they were eliminated. Her dance troupe made a splash during the audition round with a lively routine set to the Usher hits OMG and Yeah. While they received mixed reactions from the judges, the dancers were praised by Simon Cowell for their absolutely brilliant performance. She was only 17 years old.
And yeah, suicide, terrible,
Mhm.
terrible.
You never know what someone is going through. You never know what's going on behind the scenes. A lot of people can put on a brave face, but I'm sure there's a lot of pressure when it comes to that sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And
You know?
all three of us are parents, and I'm way behind you guys, but to try to get to our kids and love them and make sure they're okay throughout this is
Yeah.
kind of important, But how do you know? You get so busy and you don't even know if somebody's hurting,
Yeah.
My daughter's 17 and on her high school dance team. Like that, this hits a real close to home. Like it's easy for me to make jokes about Dutch, and I'm not trying to disrespect
No.
but here, we're talking about a movie from 40 years ago, but I really have nothing but sadness over hearing that a 17-year-old committed suicide. Like that's just, I got no other comment. That it's way too close to home.
Yeah, it's really a bummer.
Well, since her death, her loved ones have raised $77,874 as of October 1st. So that's at least helpful for the family,
And keep in mind that they provide there's a free hotline out there if anyone is.
Yes.
So tell people about that. It's 988
Mm-hmm.
if there ever is a problem and need somebody immediately to talk to. So
yeah.
Rest in peace, Miss Emily Gold.
Yeah.
All right. And we're going to try to, as best we can, to remember everybody's life and enjoy their life and have a little bit of fun along the way. But it's also going to be pretty sad at the same time. So, Okay, Mr. Tito Jackson, the founding member of the Jackson 5, along with little brother Michael and solo musician in his own right, died on September 15th of a heart attack. Tito played guitar, assisted on synthesizers, and provided backing vocals on songs like I Want You Back, ABC, and I'll Be There, which landed the Jackson 5 on the Ed Sullivan Show and made them favorite of stars like Deanna Ross. The Jacksons continued performing together after Michael's departure in 1984. Tito began touring as a solo blues singer in 2003 and executive producer the documentary The Jacksons, A Family Dynasty with his brothers in 2009. After Michael died, he only began recording his own solo music in the past 10 years, which saw the 2016 release of the album Tito Time and the 2021 release of the album Under Your Spell. He was 70. I just was flashing through Facebook and it showed Janet Jackson going back to their hometown and seeing a mural, a beautiful, beautiful mural of the Jacksons as kids. And she was speechless. She's like, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. So really, really a sweet thing.
Yeah.
Tana, Charlie, anything to say about Tito? If not, we can go right to his tribute.
My thought on Tito is, we always talk about how Michael Jackson had his childhood taken away, right? Like because he was so young, but so was Tito, so was Jackie and Marlon and Jermaine. Like these guys all had their childhoods taken. They all worked crazy hours and did not at least maybe reap the financial or the fame reward that Michael did. Like, I've kind of weirdly always had a spot in my heart for the rest of the Jackson 5 who didn't get the recognition Michael did, because Tito put in the same work and didn't get the fame,
right. Or Janet,
I hope,
or even the sisters too seem to be more popular.
Or even LaToya,
right?
yeah.
LaToya, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, I hope Tito was satisfied with how things turned out, because you would think he would. He's a legend. I mean, the Jackson 5 are legends. So
for sure.
But yeah, I keep thinking about Tito, Marlon, Jackie, Jermaine, like they don't get the credit that they deserve just because Michael was amazing. So respect to Tito.
Yeah, respect to Tito. Rest in peace, Tito. What do you have for trivia on Mr. Tito Jackson?
Well, his birth name was Toriano Adaryl Jackson. I like Tito.
Yeah, I do too.
His ex-wife, Dee Dee, was murdered in 1994. Yeah. And this I thought was just made his death all the more sad is he died on a road trip with his business partner, Terry Harvey, to transport his antique cars from California to his new residence in Claremore, Oklahoma, when he began sweating and complaining of chest pain. So it was like totally unexpected, out of the blue. Like he was doing normal stuff. So that, I feel like that's what it makes it more sad.
Gosh, yeah.
And 70, that's young.
That is pretty young, right? And a heart attack. You want to have a heart attack when you're sleeping and just go. Not, especially going to Oklahoma. That's probably what made him sad.
Aww.
I didn't see that coming.
He probably said, "I don't want to go to Oklahoma." Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh my.
I know. Who's up next, Tana?
For Oklahoma.
Yeah. So shout out to Oklahoma.
So up next we have J.D.Souther, John David, or J.D.Souther, a prolific songwriter, actor, and musician who co-wrote many of the Eagles' best hits, died on September 17th. No cause of death was given, but his representatives said he died peacefully at home in New Mexico. Souther was raised in Amarillo, Texas, and found his biggest career success after moving to Los Angeles in the late 60s. In addition to his own lengthy career as a solo artist, hit song You're Only Lonely, he collaborated with the Eagles on many of their biggest hits, including New Kid in Town, Best of My Love, James Dean, and Heartache Tonight. He also co-wrote Don Henley's '89 hit, The Heart of the Matter. The Eagles paid tribute to Souther at their opening night show in Las Vegas' Sphere by dedicating Heartache Tonight to him. Don Henley told the audience, "I want to acknowledge the co-writer of that song who we lost just 3 days ago, Mr. J.D.Souther." Souther also dated Linda Ronstadt for a time, and they recorded several duets, including Prisoner in Disguise and Hearts Against the Wind. He was 78.
Well, I'm a huge Eagles fan. I got to see them. I don't know if JD was. I'd have to look at my pictures to see if JD was playing. I had amazing seats, and but those songs like resonate with me. 80s, getting on the bus. Those are the songs that were playing in the morning, on the school bus ride. So
okay.
I will miss anyone connected to the Eagles in that time. So that's why.
Aww.
Yeah, it's sad.
His music's not exactly in my wheelhouse, but I did some digging on him. Also, some other names: Bonnie Raitt, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Roy Orbison, Dixie Chicks, Burt Bacharach, George Strait, Brian Wilson. Like wrote for all of them. That's a pretty amazing lineup.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's not even all of them. Those were like, the list was twice that long. Those were the names that I really thought these are, like Grammy winning artists.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah.
impressive resume.
Yeah, that is it's amazing. His talent will be missed. We are at 10 live viewers right now. We're at 3 away from our
Come on, y'all.
record. Let's get it. Tell a friend, get them on here. If you know somebody that likes to talk about celebrities, get them on here. Let's go. Hop on. It's time. Tana, what's a little? It looks like you have a little bit of trivia on JD.
Just that he was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2013, which obviously well deserved. All those songs that he wrote. Wow, I didn't realize. I'm going to have to go back and look up what he wrote for the Dixie Chicks. I'm sorry, the Chicks, because they're one of my favorite groups. So I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, and his one hit song was really somebody there to hold me. Oh, when you're only lonely. When you're only lonely. That has been my breakup song. Like, oh, I'm all lonely now. So thank you, JD, for being with me during my lonely times. I actually thought you were as a girl singing it for a long time. Yeah. If you listen to the song, he's so like he's got a higher voice. So, but yeah, I thought JD was a chick for a bit.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, it's my turn.
Next.
Next, let's see. Let's get the picture up too. Who is up? And it looks like if you want a song stuck in your head, Beverly Hills Cop. John Ashton, the actor best known for his role as the gruff Sergeant John Taggart in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, died on September 26th after a brief battle with cancer. Ashton's Detective Sergeant Taggart appeared in the first 2 Beverly Hills Cop movies in 84 and 87, alongside Eddie Murphy and Judge Reinhold. He returned as the character, now promoted to police chief, in 2024 Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Ashton also appeared in films and TV shows that span more than half a century, including 1973's An Eye for an Eye, 1974's So Evil, My Sister, 1976's Cat Merkel and the Silks, 1979's Borderline, 1981's Honky Tonk Freeway. More recently, had roles in 2006 Sweet Deadly Dreams, 2007's Gone Baby Gone, 2009 Middleman, and 2023 Lonesome Soldier. On television, he guest starred on Columbo, Police Story, Barnaby Jones, and MASH. On Dallas in 1978-79, he played Willie Joe Garr, a business associate of JR's, who accidentally caused the death of JR's former secretary and mistress, Julie Gray. He was 76. Well, I'll real quick. I'll jump into this. I met Judge Reinhold, which has nothing to do with John, but this is such a. If you haven't seen Axel F, yes, I know. If you haven't seen Axel F, it's awful. I thought it was awful. I thought it was just a bunch of like. It really didn't have a story. It was just a bunch of things that we rehashed again. But it was really, really good to see everybody together on screen one last time, which I think Star Wars missed the boat on something like that. And the one thing I did say is like, oh, that's really nice. And I'm glad they did it before he passed, obviously. So,
yeah.
That I didn't watch it for that exact reason, because I was just like, I want it to be terrible. I don't want it to taint my, like Rocky V or Major League 2. Like, I don't want it to be that. I just want to remember Beverly Hills Cop as it was. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, which do you like better, Beverly Hills Cop 1 or 2? Anyone? One. Okay. Tana,
it's been so long.
You like both?
I've seen them that I don't. They probably blur.
When I was 15 years old, I liked 1 better. I might have to go back and revisit those.
I always like 2 better, but that everybody says 1 is better. But Tana, which do you like better, Clueless 1 or Clueless 2?
Probably Clueless 1.
Okay, I don't think
there's a Clueless 2.
I don't know. I just went ahead and said it.
There's that. Okay, we're 2 away. We have 11 streaming people. Tell a friend. We're 2 away. Let's get that. Let's tie that record. Want Charlie's name on the Dead Celebs plaque.
Is that what happened?
Sure. It'll happen.
Where is that hanging behind you?
Yeah, it's right back there. You don't see it? I've got a Brewers hat back there. Anyway, go ahead.
You guys, have you guys ever like watched, followed, listened to, read Bill Simmons, who writes
Bill
for
Simmons
The Ringer?
podcast.
He runs The Ringer now. He has a podcast, but I mean, back in the day when he was a writer, that's when I really was following a lot of his stuff. And he had what he called the That Guy Hall of Fame. And this guy should be a first ballot inductee into the That Guy Hall of Fame because he has been in episodes of every. I also looked, aside from the shows you already named, like MASH, Dallas, Barnaby Jones, he was in the A-Team, he was in Starsky and Hutch. Like, this dude was in everything that we loved when we were like 10 years old. So,
yeah.
Like, this guy belongs in the That Guy Hall of Fame. Like, oh, him again? That's I think when I see him.
Yeah.
Like, what a career. What an interesting, like, he's been in a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Well, rest in peace, John.
Yeah. So some
what do you got for
interesting trivia.
Mm-hmm.
He attended Defiance College before transferring to USC, where he graduated with a BA in theater arts. And his classmates included John Ritter, Bob Quinn, and Jack Bender.
I don't know what Bob Quinn is, but.
Although Mark Harmon became the focal point of NCIS, Ashton was the first actor to play an NCIS agent on JAG in 1995. There's another one. And lastly, this is actually the only celebrity this go round that I have a quote from. So his famous quote, "Think big, work hard, and have a dream." I really like that.
I do like that too.
Yeah. And
that's John.
Ashton.
Yeah. All right, Tana. I'll let you head on to Maggie Smith.
Yeah, Maggie Smith. This one hurt. The Grand Dame of British theater, who won 2 Academy Awards, mentored Harry Potter as Professor McGonagall, and embodied Downton Abbey's sharp-tongued matriarch, Violet, Dowager Countess of Grantham, has died on September 27th. While her cause of death is unknown, throughout her 60-year career, Smith revealed details about her health, including diagnosis of breast cancer and Graves' disease. Maggie Smith's career began at the Oxford Playhouse in the 1950s. She made her film debut in 1956 as one of the party guests in Child of the House. She has since performed in over 60 films and television series with some of the most prominent actors and actresses in the world. These include Othello with Laurence Olivier, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, California Suite with Michael Caine and Jane Fonda, A Room with a View, Richard III with Ian McClellan and Jim Broadbent, Franco Zeffirelli's Tea with Mussolini with Judi Dench, Joan Plowright, and Cher, and Gosford Park with Kristen Scott Thomas and Clive Owen, directed by Robert Altman. Maggie Smith has also been nominated for an Oscar 6 times and won twice for The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie and California Suite. Smith later appeared in the very successful Harry Potter franchise as the formidable Professor McGonagall, as well as in Julian Fellowes' ITV drama series Downton Abbey as the Dowager Countess of Grantham. She was, 89 years old. So what a life, right?
What a life. What a beautiful, beautiful woman.
I know.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was Downton Abbey. She was just sharp tongue. That's exactly like that. I loved her in that. So.
Was this a remake of the later Downton Abbey that just came out, right? It wasn't like a 1960s Downton Abbey or something.
No. This was 2010, 2011.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I did not watch that, but that was a very popular show. You know, a guy named Andy Hutzek watched Downton Abbey. I know. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Tana doesn't know Andy, he's online as his girlfriend right now. So he's hiding.
Is that who was asking you about Tina's hunting segment?
Yes.
Like, who is that? All right, got it. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something about me and Dame Maggie Smith that will probably make you want to kick me off the podcast.
Okay.
And I had to run through her entire IMDb I've literally never seen a thing she's been in.
Wow,
Not
you've never
one.
watched
I don't know
one
how
Harry
that's
Potter
possible.
movie?
My kids
even Harry
were not
Potter?
into Harry Potter. Didn't watch any Harry Potter. Never watched
Huh.
Downton Abbey. The closest, and this this is pretty good. When I was relatively young, my dad would make me come in and watch Sister Act 2, only because there was a girl who would sing in it at the end and like blow the roof off the place. You know who that girl was?
Maggie Smith.
Lauryn Hill.
Oh, Lauryn Hill. Oh, from the Fugees.
Yeah,
Oh.
Lauryn Hill
Lauryn
was in
Hill.
Sister Act 2, and he would be like, come in here and
remember
watch this girl sing. And we would watch Lauryn Hill and freak out at how good she was, but I never actually watched the movie, which apparently Maggie Smith was in. So that's as close as I got to watching something.
Yeah.
That is
Maggie
so
Smith
close,
was in.
too. You are right
Yeah.
there.
Right
So
there.
close.
Yeah, she was one of the nuns.
I guess so. Yeah, but I only watched the Lauryn Hill scene, not knowing
Huh.
it was Lauryn Hill until years later.
That's interesting. It is interesting.
So,
All right.
real expert on Dame Maggie Smith over here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not really either. But it sounds like it touched a lot of people. So
She did.
Amazing career.
amazing career. What do you have for a little bit of trivia on Maggie?
Well, so interestingly enough, she completed filming Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince whilst undergoing radiotherapy as treatment for breast cancer.
Ooh.
So she was a trooper. I mean, like, great work ethic, apparently, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And shout out to Charlie's wife, who is a breast cancer survivor. So
awesome.
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
And
6 years cancer free.
that's amazing.
Wonderful.
All right. Is that it on Dame? On the Dame?
Yes,
Maggie Smith?
that is. Mhm.
All right. Well, then I will bring up Kris Kristofferson. That's who we're up. Who's up next? And sorry about this. I could have had him ready. The Highwayman. Kris Kristofferson, the legendary country singer and acclaimed actor, died on September 28th in Maui, Hawaii. No cause of death was given, but he suffered from memory loss, Lyme disease, and fibromyalgia.
Myalgia.
Thank you. Kristofferson's career in music and film spanned over a half century, releasing 18 studio albums and appearing in dozens of theatrical and television movies between the 1970s and the 2010s. He won 3 competitive Grammys and 13 nominations, and was also nominated for an Academy Award and won a Golden Globe. His gravely voice and complex poetic voice made him a favorite among his contemporaries. Though he released several albums in the 1970s, he spent the later part of the decade launching his acting career. His unique balance of ruggedness and sensitivity made him a beloved performer in both leading and supporting roles. His best-known role came in 1976 with the second remake of A Star is Born, starring Barbra Streisand. The film was the second highest grossing movie of the year behind Rocky and won Kristofferson a Golden Globe for Best Actor. The film's soundtrack was also an enormous success, selling nearly 15 million copies worldwide and winning an Oscar and a Grammy. He was 88. He was 88. So sad. Sound like he was sick towards the end of that.
Yeah.
And I remember him as a kid. There's a movie called Convoy, which my uncles, this is the late 70s. So I'm like 4 or 5 years old, and they're in the cops chasing semis, chasing bad guys. Like that's all they want to watch. And Convoy, we must have watched Convoy every time it was on. I don't even know how we even watched it. Like I have no idea because they only played one movie a night, on 3 channels. So, but yeah, Convoy was how I knew Kris Kristofferson first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because for me, I don't know why my entire life I saw Kris Kristofferson on an episode of The Muppet Show in about, 1980. I don't know when that would have been. And for the rest of my life, I always associate Kris Kristofferson with The Muppets.
Not
Weird.
Blade,
Ah,
not A Star is Born, not Blade, not singing with the Johnny Cash.
And I
The
actually
Muppets.
looked at like the day he died, I was like, I'm going to look that up. Of course, you can find anything on YouTube now. So I'm watching Kris Kristofferson on The Muppet Show from like when I was 4 years old. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
when you see something like that, it really doesn't it? It brings a really weird sense of being a kid for a second, doesn't it?
I felt like I was back on Johnson Street in Pulaski. Like honestly, really, it does have a strange. Certain things have a way of transporting you, and that was one of them.
A smell or
really
a vision. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually knew Kris Kristofferson from any movies or music or anything, only that I recognize the name because Kris Kristofferson. I mean, I think because of the alliteration, I recognize hearing the name somewhere along the way. But I did have some interesting trivia on him.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, he was noted for his heavy boozing. He lost his helicopter pilot job when he passed out at the controls, and his drinking ruined his marriage to singer Rita Coolidge when he was reaching a bottle and a half of Jack Daniels daily. He gave up alcohol in 1976, though. So that was good.
That's quite a ways, yeah.
So he was set to become a major when he decided to quit the United States Army Rangers after almost 5 years. And let's see, he got his start in the music business by landing a helicopter in Johnny Cash's backyard and presenting him with a song he had written. Cash went on to record that song.
Oh, do we know what song that is? Probably not.
And
no.
You know what? I don't know what song that is.
All right.
He actually flew.
Yeah,
he actually flew a helicopter into Johnny Cash's yard.
Yes.
Gosh.
That's a bold move.
That's very
bold. It is, right?
Yeah. Well, he toured with them. It was Johnny Cash, him, Willie Nelson. There's a song called Highwayman that they all sing together. I think there's somebody else in there, like another pretty popular country singer. So
well, and maybe even Elvis Presley, because my last bit of trivia on Kris Kristofferson is that he got the leading male role of A Star Is Born after Elvis couldn't do it. Elvis has also recorded a song written by Kristofferson. And again, I don't know what song that is.
Well, we could just make it up.
Yeah.
Waylon Jennings.
Waylon Jennings is the other highway.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done, Charlie, on that. See?
That was Tyson, not me. I had Waylon Jennings in my head, but Tyson just confirmed it.
Tyson, good
chat.
work. Nice job, Tyson. Here I am reading. Good job. Okay, we are moving on to Mr. Drake, huh?
Yes, Drake Hogestyn, the Days of Our Lives star who appeared on the show for 38 years, died on September 28th from pancreatic cancer. His family said in a statement that Hogestyn died after putting up an unbelievable fight against the disease. He was best known for Days of Our Lives, 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and Otherworld. He attended the University of South Florida in Tampa on a baseball scholarship, majoring in pre-dentistry. He graduated with a double major in microbiology and applied sciences. He was then drafted by 2 professional baseball organizations, the St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Yankees. He signed with the Yankees and played third base for one of their farm teams until he was injured in 1977. Hogestyn began his acting career by entering a Columbia Pictures talent search that included 75,000 people. He joined the cast of Days of Our Lives in 1986. He initially played a mystery man referred to simply as the Pawn. However, it was soon revealed the Pawn was the presumed dead Roman Brady. He was 70. So again, young. Pancreatic cancer, though, that's a bad one.
Yeah, we know that from that's one you can't get away from.
Yeah. So
my grandmother.
Really, grandmother had kind of. Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Grandmother got diagnosed the day after Thanksgiving that year and passed away 2 days before Christmas. That's how.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing with pancreatic cancer they say is you don't experience any symptoms. Like it's stage 4 before you even feel sick. So I think that's early prevention. I don't know what those preventative measures are, but regular checkups from your doctor, everyone.
How do you even check for pancreatic cancer?
I don't know. That's what I said.
So my daughter's favorite teacher passed away from it too a few years ago, and actually my wife was her nurse. Like, and it hit and it hit fast. Like, it's really, oof. That's too, pancreatic cancer is rough.
Yeah. Well, I definitely remember Drake from Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
It's funny. Growing up, my mom never really watched soap operas. But I think by the time I was in high school, I had friends who watched Days of Our Lives, and I'd watch with them. And I think what really got me hooked was when Marlena was possessed by the devil.
Yeah.
That was that was gold right there. Like that.
It's classic TV.
I was glued. I was hooked. Right. And of course, he played Roman Brady. So, I mean,
even if growing up, even if you didn't watch soap operas, just changing through the channel, I saw his face. Like, I'm like, is this soap opera over yet? Oh, that guy. When is a game show coming on? Is there a game show after this? Since Mr. Rogers is done, I have nothing to do. I don't know what to do next. My life is awful, and I'm 8.
So we probably all had this experience of, right, when you're a kid, you stay home sick from school.
Right.
It's Price is Right.
Price is Right.
My mom was home, so it was Days of Our Lives. So that's when I would see this guy. And then for years, obviously, that doesn't happen until I go to college. And my roommate, who is on this right now, if he's not watching the Brewer game, watched Days of Our Lives every day.
Is that Mark?
And so Mark was like in his 20s watching Days of Our Lives.
That's awesome.
So I immediately thought of Mark when Drake passed away. So I hope Mark is doing okay if he's still watching.
If I ever do a script of college kids, one of them's going to be watching Days of Our Lives. I think that's a classic. Like, can't get away from it.
Right.
He must not be watching anymore because he's not commenting. But man, it made me laugh so hard when I was like, "You watch Days of Our Lives still?" In like the late 90s when we were in our early 20s.
You have cable. You have cable too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We got NBA League Pass. We don't need to watch Days of Our Lives anymore.
Yeah, well, it was addicting. It was addicting at the time,
Yes, it was.
All right. Is there any trivia on him? Sorry.
Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. He attended the same gym as legendary actor and comedian Dick Van Dyke. That would be cool to run into. I don't know. Right? And then he was a huge fan of Bruce Lee, and he is a practitioner of Jeet Kune Do, the style of martial arts that Lee developed. He is also an expert of the nunchaku, the weapon that Bruce Lee was known for using in his films. So
interesting.
Yeah, a little bit of trivia.
Okay. Well,
next.
Next. That's too bad.
I know.
So we normally don't do sports figures, but these were two pretty recognizable figures, and mostly a lot of humanitarian, at least in Dikembe's case. Basketball Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutumbo, who was one of the best defensive players in NBA history and longtime global ambassador for the game, died September 30th at the age of 58 from brain cancer. Known for his trademark finger wag, a provocative pose used to dissuade players from challenging him at the rim, he retired the second most blocks in NBA history. After his basketball career, he focused on humanitarian efforts as well as acting as himself in several movies, including Uncle Drew in 2018 and Coming to America 2 in 2021. I didn't know that. He also provided the voice of himself for an episode of Family Guy in 2018. He started the Dikembe Mutumbo Foundation to improve living conditions in his native Democratic Republic of Congo in 1997. And he's also a longtime supporter of the Special Olympics and a member of the Special Olympics International Board of Directors, as well as a global ambassador. Again, he was only 58. So I saw just a clip before this of him bringing a school to the Congo. He brought a $28 million hospital to Congo. So just the lives that this man changed in 58 years. And basketball players that he literally made angry with the finger wave. So, no. That's right. That's right. You got to remember. Go ahead.
My husband is not really a big sports fan, but he knew this guy and he knew the finger wave. So
yeah. That's how much he touched people.
Yeah,
absolutely. Charlie.
So I got a lot of thoughts on Dikembe Mutumbo, but One of them, the thing that sticks out, Brent, I'm sure you've seen it. They show it on every time the NBA playoffs start. They show Dikembe Mutumbo laying on the ground, holding the ball. Yep. That is, I can count on one hand the number of times sports has ever like brought me to tears in my entire life. And only one time because I was sad, and that was the moment. Because that was when they knocked the number 1 seeded Seattle Supersonics out of the playoffs in the first round. And I loved that Sonics team. But I loved Mutombo. It's not like I hate Mutombo because of it. I loved Mutombo, but every time they show that clip, I'm like, stop it. I get so angry at that one clip.
It was the first time ever in NBA history that a bottom 8 seed beat a number 1 seed in the first round of the playoffs.
Correct. And the Sonics were up 2-0 in the series. So I mean they won 3 in a row to beat them. And
best of 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was that sucked. But no, I mean the finger wag. I just was looking the other day. There was a Geico commercial a few years ago. Yes. I don't know. Look it up if you haven't. Where he was like, somebody would try to grab a box of cereal off a shelf, and he'd run by and slap it out of their hand and wave the finger in their face. And it's legitimately one of the funniest commercials I've ever seen.
And somebody
they
tries
said something about like,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
It's funny.
Yeah, the catchphrase was something like, "Geico makes you happier than Dikembe Mutumbo gets when he blocks something." Like it was, I don't know, it was a reach, but either way, it was a really funny commercial.
Wow.
So yeah, look that up for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody's shooting a garbage at the garbage, and he knocks it away. Oh no!
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, he was recognized by George W. Bush in his 2007 State of the Union address for his humanitarian work, which kind of blew me away when I saw that because. I mean, that's and I know that W was big on humanitarian effort in Africa, actually. So it was pretty cool that he had Dikembe Mutumbo as his guest there in Congress while he was delivering the State of the Union. Pretty good honor.
Really cool. Yeah, there's not too many good things to say about George W., but that's one of them.
We don't need to get into that here, but you're not going to hear me compliment him too often. But that was one that I was like, wow, that was really, cool moment.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, in case anyone is wondering, he was 7'2", 7 feet and 2 inches, and wore a size. Yeah, is that all? Yeah, 7'2".
Honestly, I thought he was taller than that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he wore a size 22 basketball shoes, the largest in the NBA. Shaquille O'Neal also wears a 22, but that is the largest. Man. I thought this was interesting. He spoke English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and 5 African dialects. So that was impressive. And more on his humanitarian stuff. He fulfilled a lifelong dream by opening the doors to the Biamba Marie Mutombo Hospital and Research Center while contributing $15 million to the facility. That was his lifelong dream. So very good guy.
Very, very good guy. And he will be missed. Sad. I didn't even know he was sick. Yeah. It's been a busy, sad month, and we've got only 2 celebrities left. So
3.
We have 3. Oh,
3.
John Amos.
Oh, geez. Okay, you're right. Okay, stick it out, people.
Let's get with it. Okay, next up is Pete Rose, another athlete. Darn it. American professional baseball player and manager Pete Rose died on September 30th from complications of heart disease and diabetes. He played in Major League Baseball from 1963 to 1986, most prominently as a member of the Cincinnati Reds lineup, known as the Big Red Machine, for their dominance of the National League in the 1970s. He also played for the Philadelphia Phillies, where he won his 3rd World Series championship in 1980, and had a brief stint with the Montreal Expos. He managed the Reds from 84 to 89. One of baseball's greatest players, he set a record with 4,256 career hits. At the end of his career, he became better known for the accusations of gambling that led Major League Baseball to ban him from the sport in 1989 which also kept him out of the Hall of Fame. He was 83 years old.
I got a quick couple Pete Rose stories. I had a chance to meet him, but I did not get anything signed in Vegas. He was signing stuff, and I just went. I was like 26, 27, and just shook his hand and walked away. And so, a friend on Facebook that I don't know very well, he said that he spent some time with him and asked him. He said, "If you're playing in today's baseball, what would you bat?" And he goes, "Oh, 260, 270." And he goes, "Why so low?" He goes, "Well, I'm 80 years old. What do you expect me to bat?" Right? Is that clever? I thought that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good answer.
Well said, Pete. Well said.
All right.
All right. So the question with Pete Rose.
Go, Charlie.
Should he be in the Hall of Fame?
I say now that he's passed, yeah. I think they were waiting for him to pass, which is sad because he should have been in before he died. But I think they'll do it now, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, everyone makes mistakes and everyone has their thing. That's kind of a, like who doesn't, what major athlete doesn't gamble?
He was betting on his own team, though, right?
Oh, really?
He's right.
Oh.
Am I right on that, Charlie? Yeah.
When he was the manager too, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So not the smartest thing, but he was
Yeah.
betting. He's betting with it, right? Like, I don't know.
Betting on, not against. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like,
I believe so.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like it's too bad that he had to pass away. For like now he should have had his day in the sun at some point, like and you can put it right on the plaque in Cooperstown, like was banned from baseball in whatever year it was. But, recognize the whole thing. But the guy belongs with everybody else in the Hall of Fame. What a legend. An amazing career. Does anybody ever break that hits record? I shouldn't say that out loud. Maybe somebody already did, but I don't think
they haven't.
Come
they
close.
haven't. And I remember seeing that. Like we had 12 cable channels and TBS left the Braves game. And they were like, we're going to, every time Pete's batting, we're going to see it. And I got to see it, not in person, but, on cable anyway. So pretty neat.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, what? Sorry, you got excited.
No, we're at 12. We're so close. One more, Charlie. We'll tie as many people streaming. Come on,
Get one of my kids to jump on quick.
Yeah. Okay, Charlie, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
I don't remember at all what I was about to say now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got very excited when you got excited.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, the only connection I have to Pete Rose, as I am not a sports fanatic, is that I'm originally from Ohio, born close to Cincinnati, and I have a lot of family there. So if I were a fan, I would be a Cincinnati Reds fan. So that's about my only connection.
It's a pretty good connection. That's a pretty good connection for a girl.
I know.
Oh.
She knows I do. That's only love.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I'm a basic white girl, and I admit it. Okay.
My mom's the biggest baseball fan I know. Like,
right? No, I know. I'm teasing her because I know
baseball trivia.
Right. Yeah. I'm just teasing her because I know she's not a sports fan.
Right.
And she doesn't care.
No.
All right. What? Anybody else got anything else before Tana says some trivia on Mr. Pete?
Oh, I mean, there's, just talks about some tax evasion and just, he just got into some things. His nickname was Charlie Hustle. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And he was married to a former Playboy bunny and Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader, Carol Woling.
Wow.
In 1984, and they divorced in 2011. So married for a while.
That was quite a while.
Yeah, he has actually 2 autobiographies. The first, Pete Rose, My Story, 1989, was written with Roger Kahn. And in his second, My Prison Without Bars, in 2004, he admitted to the gambling in baseball. So that's the trivia I have.
That's it. Oh,
yeah.
Well, gosh, Pete, rest in peace.
Yeah.
again, sad that he wasn't able to see himself in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tina, I'm going to read Mr. Frank Fritz.
Mhm.
And just bring that up quick. There we go. I'll have to find a picture for Mr. John Amos while you read it.
Okay.
So Frank Fritz, a former longtime co-host of the History Channel's American Pickers reality series, died on September 30th. The cause of death was not revealed, but he has been dealing with a number of health issues, including Crohn's disease, alcoholism, debilitating back surgery, and the effects of a stroke in 2022. Fritz appeared in over 300 episodes of the hit Antique Show, which saw him and co-host Mike Wolfe hit the road to hunt for antiques and collectibles together from 2010 to 2021. He ultimately parted ways with the series after 21 seasons, with Wolfe remaining as its host. Wolfe confirmed the news as a former co-host death in a poignant Instagram tribute, writing, "I know Frank for more than half my life, and what you've seen on TV was always been what I have seen. A dreamer who was just as sensitive as he was funny, the same off camera as he was on. Frank had a way of reaching the hearts of so many by being himself." While their friendship had its hiccups, Fritz revealed in 2021 that he hadn't spoken with Wolfe in 2 years amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The pair were able to rekindle their bond in recent years. Wolfe concluded, "I feel blessed that I was there by his side and took one last journey home. I loved you, buddy, and we'll miss you." That's choking me up a little bit. "We'll miss you so much, and I know you're in a better place." Yeah. So he was 60 years old. Man, that choked me up.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, one of my dad's favorite shows.
Yeah, I remember watching that show for years. I loved seeing what they found and how they could turn it around and sell it in their antique stores. So
it's funny you mentioned your dad, because the one memory I have is like for years we would go to visit my dad, and he would have either this or Ice Road Truckers or Pawn Stars or one of those shows on. So I they're all one show kind of in my mind. That,
right.
I'm go hang out with dad and watch whatever reality show he has on.
Right.
And
right.
so that's certainly where I've seen this before.
aw.
See, good memories with our parents,
Yeah.
even random shows that dads watch,
Yep.
Oh my
Which one are you watching today, Dad?
Yeah.
I don't think he knew or cared. He just had him on.
Well, it's funny because my dad watches them now and he's like, "This is a repeat." Yeah. It's a repeat. It's not only a repeat to you, but it's a repeat to half of America who've watched every episode. It's a repeat. This one's a repeat. No shit. Oh, man.
So a couple things about Frank. He owned his own antique store called Frank Fritz Finds in Savannah, Illinois. And in high school is when he began collecting motorcycles and eventually amassed a fleet of more than 100. He attended the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, an annual gathering of thousands of bikers in Sturgis, South Dakota, for more than 30 years straight. 100 motorcycles. That's a lot.
I'm curious how you start collecting motorcycles in high school.
In high school.
Yeah.
Maybe he worked on them.
One seems like a lot when you're in high school, much less I'm going to start a collection.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
That's crazy. Good for him.
Yeah.
All right. We are going to finish out the night. We have one more tragic death that we just learned about. It seemed like, and it's interesting. Charlie and I are texting back and forth, and Charlie's like, I'm like, yeah, it's probably done. We're probably not going to get any more. And then somebody died a month ago, and we're just finding out about it last night, which is crazy.
Had him at the last minute. I know. Very sad.
Not to make this too serious or to make this too personal, but Brent, I don't know about you, but we lost 5 friends right around this time of year. It was October 7th, 1988.
Yep.
And so every year since then, it's 36 years. Every year when late September rolls around, I get a little I don't know why. It just keep your kids close. Make sure you keep your loved ones close. I don't know why that is. I've always felt that way. And
Yeah.
as you said, we were going to do this podcast together, and then this person dies. This person dies. It was like, it's this time of year. Like, I just want to stay in my basement for the next week now. Like, it really, it kind of went from our text chain was like, this is incredible to like, this is terrible. Oh no. Like this, it feels like, I don't know. It's a weird time of year for me. This week always spooks me out. Like I'll come out of my house again on October 8th.
Well, to recap, so Tana knows I was in 8th grade. Charlie was in 7th grade, and 5 girls that they were in 7th grade, surrounded by people we all knew, were standing at a street corner when a car struck them and killed 5 and missed probably another 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And so these 7th
one
grade
car
girls
killed 5 people.
Driver had a seizure behind the wheel a couple blocks before and floored it, and they didn't see him coming. Yeah.
And one of them was the cousin of the driver.
Oh no. Oh my gosh, that is so sad.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't, event. Like I said, for 36 years, that's like haunted me every year, all the time, but especially this time of year. Like this early October is up, and now my kids are like at or around that age too, and it's like, man, think about them all the time.
Yeah, it was a tough.
So this rash of Dikembe Mutumbo, Pete Rose, John Amos, like seeing all these names come across in the last few days, like, man, what is it?
Yeah.
Weird. I feel like I jinxed it with you inviting me on the podcast.
No, not at all. Maybe that's, we're supposed to be here at this moment talking about this.
Yeah.
So
keeping their memory alive.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh.
All right. Let's this is our last celebrity of the night, Mr. John Amos.
No.
What do you have for us, Tana?
Well, John Amos, the actor who played the pivotal role of adult Kunta Kinte in the landmark miniseries Roots, after cementing himself as one of America's most beloved sitcom dads in Good Times, actually died August 21st. And the news of his death just came, like Brent said, a few days ago. The cause of death was natural causes. Amos initially dreamed of becoming a player in the American Football League until 1967 Kansas City Chiefs coach Hank Stram told a then 28-year-old Amos, "Young man, you are not a football player. You are a young man who happens to be playing football." Amos pivoted to a life in showbiz, and his acting career quickly picked up when he landed the role of weatherman Gordy Howard on the Mary Tyler Moore Show in 1970. From there, he brought his comedic talents to CBS's Good Times, a spinoff of Maude and All in the Family. The Norman Lear program made history as the first TV show to follow an African-American two-parent household. As James Evans Sr., Amos charmed America as a hardworking and devoted father figure. But after 3 seasons, the actor clashed with Lear and the writers and was fired. The beloved father figure was thus killed off in the season 4 premiere. Amos next landed a role in the 1977 miniseries Roots, which became a national sensation, earning 37 Emmy nominations. The actor remained a TV staple throughout the 80s and 90s, working steadily as a guest star and in recurring roles on Hunter, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and In the House. He was also heralded for his role as Admiral Percy Fitzwallace in The West Wing. Though best known for his TV roles, Amos's film resume included Coming to America, The World's Greatest Athlete, The Beastmaster, Die Hard 2, For Better or Worse, The Players Club, and Because of Charlie. He was only 84 years old.
That's a pretty solid life.
Yeah, but a good life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Lots of big name TV shows, movies. I mean, I do remember him in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I think he was
Lisa's dad.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember her name for just a split second.
Neil Long played the character. Yeah, Lisa's dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie knows Fresh Prince. That's for sure.
I think
never watched
Cleo
it.
McDowell. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Oh, from Coming to America? Yeah. Did anybody see part 2? Did they go back to that restaurant in part 2? No.
I didn't watch the second. Just like we said before about Beverly Hills Cop, I was like, I'm not watching that.
I heard it's awful, just awful. So I hope he wasn't in it. Eddie, what are you doing, Eddie? Stop.
Eddie was.
Just be Eddie. Just be Eddie.
Aw.
Eddie Murphy. Stop making bad sequels.
I see a lot of people that I follow on Twitter, or not on social media, and even somebody who I spoke to yesterday actually said, like, he to many Black Americans, he is like their father figure, like, because of the role he played on Good Times, like he's America's dad.
Aww.
So that's what stuck out to me, is I've heard a handful of people refer to him as America's dad, which is pretty cool honor.
Better than Dr. Huxtable.
Yeah.
That's kind of. I was going to leave that out, but correct.
I said it. There it is.
Yeah. That a girl, Tana. Yeah, true that.
All right. So here's an interesting bit of trivia about Mr. John Amos. He was actually a social worker. He headed New York's Vera Institute of Justice, and he was an advertising copywriter prior to pursuing a career as an actor. So,
but also a football player.
Yeah. Yes.
Good enough to know Hank Stram in person, apparently.
Yeah.
Hank Stram. Oh,
son, you are not a football player.
That's so funny.
You are a player who happens to be playing football.
Yeah.
I mean, this will be my second Carl Weathers reference of the day, but it sounds very similar to what John Madden said to, like, you're too sensitive to play football. And
he told that to Carl Weathers?
John Madden told Carl Weathers, you're too sensitive to play football.
Oh. Wow. Huh. Gosh.
As he was in the NFL playing for the Raiders.
So many lives intertwined, so random lives, like just people meeting in certain places at certain times. Just so bizarre. Like, who would ever think Carl Weathers and John Madden, what did they have in common? You know, or John Amos and Carl Stram, you know, like,
crazy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Crazy.
Anything else, everybody?
That's all. That's it.
All? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I just want one brief. We don't have to talk about it more than this. Just quick shout out to Frankie Beverly, who because the list got so long for time, we removed that name from the list. But amazing soul singer from the 70s. Like, rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. He's I'm a fan. I don't know his music real well, Maze and Frankie Beverly, but I know enough songs to man, the guy could sing. Incredible.
It was a hard month. We had to.
It really was.
We had to make some choices, you know.
And if you ever want to see, I say a full list, but every day there are people that pass that I post on our Facebook page, Dead Celebs, the final curtain call. So you can check it out there. But we absolutely had so many, we couldn't list them all.
Yeah. That's some great people that touched a lot of different people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody in the chat. We came so close to the record, Charlie, but you did not get your free bottle of barbecue sauce. We're working on a sponsor.
Come on, man.
I know. Well, maybe if you come on the show again, we'll have to. Hopefully, the number will still be low enough that we can beat that record.
If you guys would even invite me, I'm not sure I want to be on. I feel like I was the jinx here. All of a sudden, the list got long when I got the invite.
We're going to make sure we're going to bring you on next October. Just kidding.
Aww,
just kidding.
Not too cool.
Much. I know. I'm terrible. I know. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Well, thanks everybody in the chat. We appreciate your time. If you were even in for a little bit. Thank you. It helps keep the show moving. Thank you. Tana, thank you as always. And Charlie, thank you for joining us. It's been fun. We, as much fun as this can be, again, we want to be we want to enjoy these people's lives when they live a long, wonderful life, like the John Amos and even the Pete Roses who lived to be 80. That's, we're trying to remember them. The sad young deaths are hard, but they need to be remembered also. So
Yes.
All right. We're just
I
go
gotta
ahead,
say,
Charlie.
sorry, Brent, I don't mean to cut you off, but I gotta say, when
please
I
do.
found out you were doing a podcast about celebrity deaths, my initial thought was like, that's pretty morbid. Like, but I love that you guys are here to celebrate it. Like, that's to like bring people to light that we might not think of otherwise, or might not have known about, so we can learn something and celebrate the lives these people had. Because it's a cool thing you're doing. And thanks for having me.
Yeah,
thanks for being
having
on.
me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. Well, stick around. We'll talk afterwards. We're going to roll the end credits and then we'll shut everybody off. Thank you again for watching and joining, and we'll see you next month.
See you next month.
Check out our sister podcast, Talk Murder to Me. Step into the captivating world of true crime with an unexpected twist of humor. With John's compelling narrative and Jen and Nicole's amazing banter, this podcast offers an entertaining and unique approach to true crime storytelling. Talk Murder to Me can be found on any podcast platform, also streaming live Saturdays on YouTube. For a legal disclaimer, please visit www.dead-celebs.com. The Actor Factor brings the industry knowledge to you firsthand from professionals, including working actors, directors, managers, and more. Find it anywhere podcasts are streamed.
If you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please reach out. Help is available. Dial 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.